another interesting thing, and that's not necessarily random, but I'm like, wow, Beverly Hills High School? What was that like?
It was terrible because I grew up not in Beverly Hills. I grew up in the Valley.
Right.
It was in the 70s. It was still kind of into the hippie thing. And then I arrived at this high school, and it wasn't that at all. It was like lots of name brands. All the girls had Gucci this and Louis Vuitton that, and like everybody had name brands. And
wow.
And I was like, and everybody had like the fancy cars, and I was like, wow, this is so materialistic. And I wasn't kind of used to that. I was more anti-materialistic. So I had a hard time like making friends and stuff like that. And they were all friends with each other from day one, and I just arrived and I didn't have a fancy car, and
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when I left, I said, I'm never going to see any of these people ever again. And if it wasn't for Facebook, I would never know any of them again. But now that Facebook, they kind of came back.
Now they're all buying his heart.
Well, yeah.
Not really.
How did it affect like your work?
Well, I mean, to this day, I even though I'm in the, well, let's say, gallery system, and I show shows and, you know, make my money from selling art, I have what Kareem was talking about, I very much believe in, which is art that is not only for a certain crowd. I believe in elevating everybody, not just a certain people that can have studied art. They're not the only ones allowed to appreciate it, right, and get uplifted by it.
Right.
So that's part of my philosophy, is like, that's why when I first moved here and I kind of started doing all this stuff in the street with cohorts and stuff, it was about reaching out and getting to people, and not only, because who really goes to the galleries and goes to the museums? There are a few people, and of course there's more now than there was then, but there wasn't much interest. So we wanted to connect with people.
Yeah.
So I'd say maybe some of my reaction with my high school experience was I'm kind of more egalitarian and anti-elitist.
As you and I, and we cross boundaries and we end up doing things for different companies and different types of projects and all this sort of stuff, it's completely open for everybody.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
To you, what does that mean to humanity?
Yeah. You can be this, you can be a filmmaker, you can be a scene maker. It's a much bigger picture.
We used to think that luxury was, like a marble table,
Oh, yeah.
big heavy thing.
That's still the case in cars.
And this idea, what was luxury? It was precious stones, heavy gold.
Heavy
gilded.
means there's a lot in there.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and personally change the surface of this object. So when I pick up the phone, I want to turn that experience into, let's say, the magical.
That period was fantastic because it was this kind of utopian vision of this idea that we're all gonna, by this point, 2013, we're all gonna be living on another planet.
I'm always the most excited about what either I'm working on at the moment or what I just finished.